I just recorded for 30 fucking minutes to realize that my microphone was closed. I'm gonna skip through all the unimportant shit, and I'm just gonna get right to the fucking gold, okay? So let's just, you know, we're speeding around this bitch, alright? Okay, I expect to just go up, but we re-dipped into this liquidity sweep. It happens a lot. You'll see it happened, fucking, I don't know where. It happens a lot. It happens here. We moved up. We kind of came back down to, double dip. Double dip. It happens a bunch. It happened here. I think we might move up. I don't fucking know. Anything could happen. This for value gap. I just presume we're probably going to inverse it. What happened today? We moved down, but that was after, again, after New York AM. I'm sorry I'm talking fast. It's just like 30 minutes. I just was talking to my thing, and then I looked and I was like, wait, it's weird that my microphone's not moving. And then I hit the unmute button and I was like, maybe a test, and I was muted! I'm sorry. I'm just like really upset. And I was on shit too. You guys are not ready for the 10. Alright, we're speeding through this. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Where's 930? Here's 930. We took longs. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to try and get into detail. We took longs on accident on the fake account. We tried to take on the real account. Well, not even like I wasn't focused on taking on the real account. I was just focused on taking it. I took it and didn't see that it was on the fake account. So disappointing. We took honestly a negative RR trade. I'm not even gonna lie. Wait, no, I don't even think this was shrunk. I think that's funny. Looks really bad. It's a really ugly thing, isn't it? We actually almost immediately got on TP. So again, we had dipped in, right? Huge dip in. We moved up a poop ton, and I was just thinking if we're gonna go back down, I don't really think I don't really care if we're gonna move back down or not, because on the 5 minute you see us dipping into this for value gap, and then we see us dipping into this one, and then on the 1 minute you can see what can you see in the 1 minute? On the 1 minute you can see us go down into here, which this was one of the fair value gaps. So I'm not gonna remark it, but it was a fair value gap on the 5 minute, right? We didn't take it out, so it was like this. Um, and we didn't take it out, and so then we broke structure upwards. We had a huge down candle, and I was just like, okay, this is probably a good opportunity to take this trade. I set my stop loss about over here. Targeted 1500, and then I set my stop loss at like 1600. And because I just like, I wouldn't like it if I didn't actually prove my point. I'll prove my point. This is the fair value gap I'm mentioning. We dipped into here in the 1 minute. I don't know. I just, not even OCD. Just, it would really kill me from the inside out. So we took this. Would I have taken shorts? I wouldn't have expected shorts. We did sweep this. I wouldn't have been like holding longs during this. Maybe we got a break even. I'm not too surprised that we went down. I didn't expect it, but I'm not saying that this like you guys should be genuinely shocked because you shouldn't. We're just double dipping. I expect this to go up. Even if we don't go up, that's completely fine. We're at all-time highs. I think shit's gonna move awkward, and then straight to we're just skipping through this. Straight to this. Nothing, 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 nothing. This tells us that 2 days this is gonna happen, which I probably won't trade this day because it makes PA ass. The next week is fucking disgusting. We got core CP buy on Tuesday. This probably won't really have too much effect. If I talk like her, I don't give a fuck. So neither should you. Okay? If any of you guys, I actually only have 3 viewers. None of you guys are gonna talk about how I have to just slur my words. You guys don't really care about me. It's whatever. Core PPI, kind of useless. Or not useless, but nothing to really stress about. So probably be good for these days. I'll be definitely good for these days, and then this day literally is nothing. I don't know. I don't really know what this is. Doesn't really matter. Back to this week. Yeah, that's really not important. I got through this. Let's get to the 10. What are we at? Oh, 4 minutes and 48 seconds. I might be able to finish this before 10 minutes. Very good. I did perspective. I added this halfway through. I was talking about it for a while. I might like add it in the corner of my thing. Like like sped through like my other video. That'd be funny. That's not funny. Um, yeah, she's badass. Keep her maybe a little bit shorter. I like that. I like that. Um, Perspective being open-mindedness. This is kind of what I talked about, and I'm gonna get to the straight to the juice of it. I don't really want to go too much yapping. So open-mindedness perspective is kind of the principle that you don't know a lot about other people, right? About other things or concepts. And I know like you probably don't like hearing, bro, you're retarded, but you kind of are. Let me explain is what I would say, but I don't really think I need to explain because if you're watching me, you're definitely retarded. No, what the fuck, bro? No, perspective and open-mindedness is the idea that stuff is so complex that you can never really understand it. You will never be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes because, I mean, come on, bro. They have so much different experiences. You can't actually comprehend that, right? No one will be able to. You'll never be able to understand someone else, just as they won't be able to understand you. What's this mean? It doesn't mean that you should just fucking give up on trying to understand them. It means that you should try harder and understand that you can't just like put them in this like little box, right? You have an idea of them. You can't just keep this idea of them. Like you can't just create your a person, right? You can't create them what you expect them to be or what you think they are, and then just put them in that little box and keep them there. What I mean by this is going to sound stupid, but I think this is just the only thing that's coming to my head, is if you have a crush and you put in your head that this person is kind, funny, whatever you expect them to be, you can't keep them like that because that's you can't really understand who they are, or you can understand you can get the fuck out of my room. Shh, 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 shh. Shut the fucking door. I don't know what you said, but actually don't even finish. I'm doing something. You're literally wasting my time. I have 30 seconds. Excuse me. I'm not actually that mean often. I'm sorry. I'm just like in a rush. I'm trying to hit this before 10 minutes. I'm not telling you that you don't understand them and that you should give up on understanding them. I'm just saying that you shouldn't expect someone to be something that they're not. You shouldn't expect someone to be like I don't really know how to fucking explain it. Um, Maybe for Trump. Trump's a very good example. People assume that he is what they think he is, right? Oh, I know Trump. He does this. He's this and this and this and this. Well, realistically, you don't know who people are. You've never met him. You've probably never met him. You've probably never talked with him. You don't understand his perspective. Am I saying Trump's a good guy? No. Am I saying that he's a bad guy? No. I don't know shit about him, right? All I know is what other people said about him, right? Does this mean that he's a good person? I don't think he's a good person off of context clues, but I still don't know him. So I'm not going to say shit about him, which is why I think people who indulge in politics are just, dropping to the biggest scam of their lives. Because realistically, you'll never know what's going on behind those curtains. You're just assuming you do. We really don't know anything, which is why if I move which is why I move my camera, you'll see that, oh, what's this tab up there? Right, let me pull up this one. It's, I know that I know nothing. I've talked about this in my previous video where, everything was muted, but, it's kind of the idea that you got to understand that you don't really know a lot and you can use this to your advantage. Not use this to your advantage, but you should understand this concept to allow yourself to grow as a person, right? Holy shit. I just realized that closed mindedness and open mindedness, we'll just put them all together. Um, don't be closed minded. Don't assume that you know everything, right? Don't assume that you know who Trump is and don't assume that you know what the Democratic Party is or that you know the Republican Party is. Don't assume that you know these things because you realistically don't. They're too complex to understand. Don't assume that you know what someone's going through because you definitely fucking don't. So this is super important in growing. Don't never assume. It makes an ass out of you and me. Because if you ASSUME is how you spell assume, you get the freaking point, bro. Because being open minded will allow you to like being open-minded is like, oh, I don't know all about the subject. Don't go into a conversation assuming that you know what's right and what's wrong. Don't go into a conversation or an argument assuming that your point is right. You want to understand the goal of all not arguments, but all conversation is to find is it syntax? I don't freaking know. AP Lang was a year ago. I'm sorry. I'm done with that debating unit, so I'm not really gonna try and stress about it. Um, what I mean by this is what I'm trying to get across is when you're going through a conversation, the goal shouldn't be to prove you're right, right? It should be to understand a little bit more than you did before. Always try and learn. That's what I mean by being open minded. You don't know a lot. That's the truth, right? So when you're talking to people, don't talk as if you know a lot. Talk to learn. Talk to try and give your perspective. And then don't fucking just talk. Listen. Try and gain their perspective. I won't lie, this is something I might be struggling with a little bit, maybe a lot, I don't know. Um, to learn other people's perspectives because it is super important as growing fundamentally. You are never gonna always be right. And that's a good thing. Because if you were always right, then shit's gonna be boring and you're not gonna learn. So to actually grow as a person, to grow successfully, mentally happy, I don't know, knowledgeable, you got to you got to assume that you don't really know that much because this allows you to take in more knowledge. Knowledge, I don't freaking know. Um, you're arguing with someone about what's right, what's wrong, right? You don't know what's right because I mean I'm not saying you have in your head what's right, but you got to understand that there's different perspectives on things, right? So I'm going to bring in a touch of subject. I don't give a fuck about politics, so this doesn't bother me at all. Might bother you, but I don't really care. It's abortion. Um, a lot of people will say that, well, on one hand, you're restricting someone's rights, and on the other hand, you're taking away life. 1 second, please! Why do I say it like that? People have different perspectives, right? One stems from maybe a religious ideal, and one stems from a basic fundamental. Um, you're right. Just communicate to learn. Try and understand other people's perspectives, and maybe you'll actually grow as a person. Maybe. I can't guarantee you guys this much, right? That's a big ask. So that's kind of what that's all about. I might go into detail more later. This was kind of like the 7 minute like 7 minute kind of speed through. I was talking about it for like a good 10 minutes before, but um, I feel like I could go on a better rant without um my siblings being jackasses. But that's kind of the idea. Just stay open minded. Don't close your mind because then you'll stop growing as a person. The second that you close your mind, the second that you solidify your mindset as something like you're set in stone about something, that's the second that you stop learning about it. That's the truth. That's not, oh, that's an opinion. No, that's the fact, right? And this is what sucks about polarization. And what polarization is political polarization is when someone becomes more and more left or more right. It allows it not allows, but it prevents them from gaining more understanding about the other side. And though I say and say again, politics is dumb, it's a scam. If you polarize yourself towards one subject, you're never going to be able to learn about the other subject. You're so set in stone about this thing is that you're cherry picking its information and you're only learning about one side and you're not actually learning, you're just solidifying what you think you already know. That's not learning, that's not growing. That's just leaning towards one side. A tree falls the way it leans. I just like that quote. That has nothing to do with this. Maybe I can make a video on that. Tree falls the way. I like that. A tree falls the way it leans. And then love yourself and focus on yourself. I'm putting this together. I like they're kind of similar. Oh shit! So now we only have four. I mean, like in a good way. Like now we have four. Um, so we might get back to those other things. Um, try and understand that your perspective is just a perspective in the world. It's not everyone's perspective, and no one's ever gonna have the same perspective as you, which is beautiful. It's actually fucking beautiful. That means every person you talk to ever, you can learn something from. Uh, that's about freaking it. Thanks for watching. Arigato. End video.